Graded stakes racing continues, and this time we go across the globe for the 2021 Saudi Cup. 14 horses have entered. Going to be an interesting race from a pace standpoint. I'm mainly going to focus on the American contenders because, as we saw last year, on dirt at 1 1/8 miles with their speed, the American horses tend to run just a little bit faster to the pace. They can separate themselves from the rest of the pack, but there are a couple of Europeans and some other horses from around the globe that do kind of intrigue a little bit this year. The main focus is going to be on the top two favorites, most likely, Knicks Go and Charlatan. Knicks Go, the Pegasus World Cup winner. Now, in that race, he was able to establish a lone early speed. He ran fast early, separated himself from the pack, kind of gutted them going into the turn, and won easily. And that was after a dominant victory, again, just running him off the screen in the dirt mile at the Breeders' Cup. Meanwhile, Charlatan comes in off a 7-furlong prep. That was his race off the long layoff after the injury last spring. Now, I've always thought of Charlatan as kind of a 1 1/8 miles type. That's right in his wheelhouse. He's got that big, bulky rear end. He can really power home after setting some fast fractions. And I think what you're going to see is Knicks Go going to the lead. Now, Knicks Go, this will be the first time that he's really had to come back on some shorter rest. His races last year were extremely well spaced. He came off the layoff in his first race at Oaklawn Park. Then he had another big layoff going into Keeneland, and then a good 6 weeks to go to the Breeders' Cup. Now, this time he's got shorter time between races. He's got to ship across the country. Again, with no Lasix, I think Knicks Go is going to be sitting on the front end, but he's going to get some pressure from Charlatan, who can really make that move anytime he wants. And I think Charlatan's going to get the better of Knicks Go, especially at 1 1/8 miles on a shorter time layoff for Knicks Go. Now, Sleepy-Eyed Todd, he ran competitively in the Pegasus, but I'm not sure his best distance at this point is 1 1/8 miles. I think he's still a mile 1/16 type horse. He's a grade 3, grade 2, a little bit cut below some of the other ones, but he is in good form right now and probably should run probably one of his better races. I'm just not sure. And he may be a little bit closer to the pace this time than he was in the Pegasus, because I'm not so sure they're going to go fast early on, although that's the only way Knicks Go seems to be able to go right now. Tacitus returns from an impressive effort last year in the Saudi Cup. You know, he closed kind of passively in that race, just couldn't catch the leaders. You know, he's always kind of in the hunt. He picks up some money in these races. He just doesn't have the tactical speed. I think this is really going to be a prep for him at the Dubai World Cup, which he was pointing for last year before that race was canceled. And really, that's kind of the top contenders. I do think Mishrif, coming in for trainer John Gosden, is going to be an interesting horse here. At least he's got a trip over the track. You know the horse is going to be in condition. I think they've been pointing for this race. And then Bangkok, you know, he got a signature win at the 10-furlong distance in the 2019 Sandown Classic trial. And I think he's another horse who can kind of run on here, especially at this 1 1/8 miles distance. My top pick is going to be Charlatan. I'm going to play Tacitus behind him in the exacta along with Mishrif. I think if Knicks Go doesn't run his A-game race, I'm not sure he is going to run second here at 1 1/8 miles. They do got the long stretch in Saudi. It's going to be an interesting card overall. Tell me who you like in the 2021 Saudi Cup. I'm going with Charlatan. Remember, next week we've got some big races coming up, especially with the Southwest Stakes being moved along with the Fountain of Youth Stakes and the Devona Dale. And remember, hit subscribe and ring that bell as we race you up for more graded stakes racing and 2021 Kentucky Derby preps.